from JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 9th, 2026. Israel's President Isaac Herzog arrived in Australia today on a solidarity visit and at the invitation of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese after the terror attack at Sydney's Bondi Beach this past Hanukkah. Herzog and his wife Michal's first stop was to lay a wreath at the site of the mass shooting, meet with loved ones of the victims, and speak to thousands of Sydney's Jewish community, telling them today, my visit to Australia to all of you is one of solidarity, strength, and sincere friendship from the State of Israel and the people of Israel. Together, we must confront the evils of anti-Semitism, extremism, and terror here in Australia and around the world.
15 innocent souls who gathered to celebrate Hanukkah, the festival of light, were massacred in cold blood by two Islamist terrorists. The world's only Jewish state, the State of Israel and the nation of Israel, stood together with the Australian people. We stood with Australian Jews, for we are one big family, and when one Jew is hurt, all Jews feel their pain. That is why I'm here today, to embrace and console the bereaved families.
There were also protests in Sydney against the president's visit. The Times of Israel reporting that some protesters held signs calling Herzog a war criminal, and some scuffled with police. 15 protesters were said to have been arrested. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will head to the United States this week. The Prime Minister's office said that Netanyahu is expected to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump this Wednesday in Washington and will discuss with him the negotiations with Iran. Writing, the Prime Minister believes any negotiations must include limitations on ballistic missiles and a halting of the support for the Iranian axis. Well, beloved, prolific Israeli singer, composer, lyricist, and musician Mati Kaspi died this weekend at the age of 76 after battling cancer. Kaspi produced some 1,000 songs over his 6-decade-long career. President Herzog calling him one of the greatest Israeli creators of our generation, saying that his contribution to Israeli music and to our lives is so present and will continue to accompany our cultural world for generations to come. Just like in one of his unforgettable songs, Mishahu, someone, Herzog said, someone is taking care of me up there. Too soon we have parted from Mati Kaspi, who has gone to take care of us from above. And from that song, here is Mati Kaspi singing, we'll meet at the end of paths and questions. We will meet at the end of many days, at the end of a lot of nights. I know that you too are getting close right now. The spring passed, the summer went, and the rain returned.
אנו ניפגש בסוף דרכים שאלות, ניפגש בתום ימים רבים, בתום הרבה לילות. אני יודע שגם את קרבה עכשיו, אביב חלף, קיץ נאסף, והגשם שם.
Turning now to the Winter Olympics and the Israeli delegation at the opening ceremonies Friday in Milan and Cortina, with flag bearers Russian-Israeli figure skater Maria Senyuk and American-Israeli skeleton racer Jared Firestone, who shared this message before the ceremony.
Tonight, I'll have the honor of carrying our nation's flag as I walk through Cortina at the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympic Games. And as I'm carrying our flag, just know I'll be wearing this kippah. This kippah has the names of the 11 victims of the Munich massacre, when 11 coaches and athletes of the Israeli delegation were murdered in Munich. I'll be taking them with me tonight.
And some Jewish athletes to watch on Team USA at the Winter Games include speed skater Emery Lehman, and in hockey, Kaylee Osborne, Jeremy Swayman, Aaron Frankel, and brothers Quinn and Jack Hughes, whose mother, by the way, Ellen Weinberg Hughes, was a hockey star in her own right and is a member of the International Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, February the 9th. At 7 o'clock on JLMinute, JNS Bureau Chief Alex Traiman and journalist Josh Hasten break down the week's events in Israel. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with Rabbi Shira Koch Epstein, educator, communal leader, and executive director of Atra, the Center for Rabbinic Innovation. At 8:30, I speak with Meredith Polsky, executive director of Matan, the national leader in Jewish disability inclusion, to discuss the importance of creating Jewish spaces where people of all abilities can learn, pray, celebrate, and belong. At 9, it's Michael and Susan Ashner on L'chaim. At 10, it's Good Week Israel, which is also coming up next. And at 10:30, an encore of the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, February the 9th, 2026. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.